What's going on, guys? This is the host. And today we're talking about the Enforcer's Path from Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It is a prestige class for the Investigator, and it looks like a lot of fun, so let's get into it. Just a reminder, this video is not a full build. If you want a full build with feats, abilities, and spells, make sure you check out the website. You can find all my builds there. Also, if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member where you can vote on what classes and subclasses I cover next. So first, an overview of the class. The Enforcer subclass is available for investigators of any type and allows you to be an expert tracker. As an investigator, you become an expert at hunting down prey and bringing them to justice. You have access to a lot of skills and can really excel in tracking an investigation. At level 3, you can choose the Enforcer archetype, which allows you to use your intelligence or wisdom instead of charisma for your intimidation checks, which can be very nice. Then at level 6, you gain the ability to take the Manhunter feat, which allows you to hunt certain types of creatures without needing to actually track them. Later, you gain access to some abilities that allow you to bring the pain as well. At level 9, you gain a powerful melee attack with your Strike of Justice ability. And at level 10, you gain access to 2 powerful armor proficiencies, Heavy and Shield, so now you can really start bringing the hurt, as well as deliver those final blows. Now, one thing I really like about this prestige class is that it doesn't focus strictly on one stat like some other prestige classes. Instead, it allows you to be more flexible and use either intelligence or wisdom, which opens up your options when building your character. For example, maybe you have high intelligence, but a lower wisdom score. In that case, you could use intelligence for your skills and saving throws, and still be effective as an enforcer. Or perhaps you have a high wisdom score, but a lower intelligence. Then you could use wisdom for your skills and saving throws, and still be effective. So this prestige class is very accommodating, and it allows you to tailor it to fit your character concept. As far as gameplay goes, this prestige class excels at both offense and defense. Let's take a look at a couple of its abilities. First, we have the Pursuit ability at level 1. This allows us to add our proficiency bonus to our speed when trying to catch up to a creature. Now that's pretty nice. We also gain an ability called Track at level 1. This ability allows us to determine the type of creature we are tracking, which is really useful because it gives us information about the creature's size, shape, and general capabilities. We also gain the ability to hunt certain creatures without actually needing to track them. This is thanks to the Manhunter feat, which we gain at level 6. This can be especially useful when fighting dangerous creatures like trolls or ogres, because we need to waste time tracking them. We can just go straight to fighting them. Another cool ability we gain is the ability to intimidate others with our mere presence. This is done through the Strike of Justice ability at level 9. With this ability, we can deal damage to multiple creatures and knock them prone, which can be very useful in crowd control situations. It's also great for setting up our next ability, which is the Unstoppable Force at level 10. With this ability, we can ignore the target's armor class and deal extra damage to them, which means that even the toughest enemies will have a hard time resisting our attacks. We also gain 2 new armor proficiencies at level 10, Heavy and Shield, which makes us even more effective in combat. We can now wear heavy armor like plate mail and use a shield to protect ourselves. One downside of this prestige class is that it has some prerequisites that may limit your options. To qualify to become an enforcer, you must meet several requirements. First, you need to be a 3rd level investigator. That's not too bad. You also need a wisdom or intelligence score of 13 or higher. Now that's doable, but it does limit the options if you want a multi-class. Then you also need proficiency with medium armor, so that's a little bit of a downside. But honestly, it's not too bad overall. I think the positives of this prestige class outweigh the negatives. If you're looking for a way to make your investigator even more effective in combat, then the Enforcer prestige class might be a good option for you. It's a very versatile prestige class that allows you to use either wisdom or intelligence. It's also great for crowd control, and it allows you to deal extra damage to tough enemies. Next, let's talk about the role of the Enforcer. The Enforcer is typically the frontline fighter of the group. They're the ones who get in close and deal damage with their weapons and abilities. The Enforcer also typically has high armor class, which makes them difficult for enemies to hit. This is important because it allows the enforcer to stay alive and dish out damage over a long period of time. Now, it's important to note that the enforcer isn't necessarily a tank. A tank is a character who is designed to take a lot of punishment and stay alive. Enforcers usually have high hit points, but they're not typically built to absorb a ton of damage. Their role is to deal damage while staying alive. They need to be able to kill the enemy quickly before they can be overwhelmed and defeated. To do this, the enforcer needs to have a high damage output. This is why the enforcer gets access to powerful melee attacks. These attacks deal a lot of damage and can often one-shot an enemy. The enforcer also needs to have a high armor class so they can stay alive long enough to deal damage to the enemy. This is why the enforcer gets access to heavy armor. Heavy armor provides the highest armor class, but it's also the slowest. This is why the enforcer typically uses a shield. A shield provides a bonus to armor class, but it also slows the character down, which is fine because the enforcer isn't supposed to be a fast character anyway. When choosing an enforcer race, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, the enforcer needs to be strong enough to deal damage, so a race with a high strength score is important. Second, the enforcer needs to be intelligent or wise enough to use their abilities effectively. And third, the enforcer needs to be agile enough to dodge attacks and stay out of danger. All of these factors should be considered when choosing a race for your enforcer. Some good options include dwarves, half-orcs, and humans. Each of these races brings different strengths to the table. Ultimately, the best race for an enforcer is the one that fits your character concept and playstyle the best. So that covers it for the Enforcer Prestige class in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.